And we are back for week 2. Welcome back to the Mancave Minutes. If you are new to the channel, basically it's like a highlight slash update and kind of what's happening. Last week was the first one. I thought it went pretty well. Basically just an intro to it, telling you guys about the group and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, there's a Facebook group for the channel, Cardo GTR. Go join up to it and join the discussion, really. So basically we left off last week with selling my RB26. So I sold the RB26 to Herman at Platinum Racing Products. He's on this really big block grab at the moment where he's just trying to grab as many 26, as many 30, as many 25 blocks, I think even RB20 blocks, as he can, so that he can continue his R&D, continue his development, and keep providing, you know, the GTR community with great products. He's kind of really started to make a name for himself, not necessarily because of the products that he's making, but because he's showing, you know, the development that goes behind it, the testing that goes behind it. So I went out to the machine shop where my block was and the brace, and basically just went and saw it. It was already machined up, ready to go. So there really wasn't too much to kind of talk about there. But I took my RB26 out to him and just kind of got his thoughts on why it may have let go. Like I said, I thought it was because oil just got pushed back to the back of the engine and it starved of oil, basically. So basically just went out, asked him a couple questions, and had to confirm with him, you know, what he thought. So real quick, I'll play that video, we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
How you going?
Buddy, how are you?
I'm good. So, here with Herman. Came originally to sell the block, but he's got the 30 block here as well, plus the brace, so we're just gonna go in and kind of have a quick chat about that stuff.
Honestly, some of the diesel blocks you just can't just put them on. It's spoiled to me.
It's literally a crane in the ceiling. So what does it really take to get a 30 block machined up for one of your braces?
Well, we've been filming this stuff all day. You should wait for the video to come back. So basically this OEM integrated main cap girdle, you have your mains connected on an RB. They're not connected to the actual pan rails, which is why our brace comes along and does that for you. But to get it to fit, you machine this down. They're all cast and rough. They're quite high at the back here. We machine them straight. Then we put these holes in them, M8 holes in them, and that is what stitches the original cap to our brace. And then we tie it off at the pan rails by making these M6 holes, an M8 125, and that's where the brace gets its strength from. So we're basically going to stop this cradle from walking around. We're going to stop the block from twisting by having a 40 mil thick cradle, and then we're going to tie it all into the pan rails to effectively stop it all moving, stop it twisting, stop that main cap walking, and that's basically it. This is how we're going to get Ricardo's block to hang in there. It's also a four-wheel drive adapter to make this RB30 able to be bolted up to the RB26 sump. Yeah, the four-wheel drive sump.
Awesome.
This has got to be the biggest straight six I've ever seen. This will definitely not fit in my GTR.
Okay.
So I just found out from Herman that these are not called oil shields. They're called windage trays. So with my block, I think I tore it down yesterday, right? And then when I flipped it over, I didn't really see too much on the windage tray other than some bearing material. So what I thought was, I thought that I blew the oil pump gear. So I checked the gear and there's no cracks, there's no breakages, but there's definitely bearing material like in the sump.
You spun a bearing.
Is that just caused from oil surge?
Oil starvation.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then that's basically what happened. G-forces oil went to the back of the engine, pump went dry,
or to the side.
Yeah.
Were you?
Well, I was in third gear on boost and hit the top of third. I heard the marbles, shut it down, and then limped it home.
Where were you?
I was on the street.
Around the corner?
No, on the street, just going straight.
Straight?
Yeah.
So if you had, for example, in an RB, you've got, say, 5 litres of oil, and if you're pulling a long gear, for example, all the oil goes to the head, and then all of a sudden there's not enough oil in the sump, the rest of the oil's at the back of the sump, and your pickup goes dry for a split second, or you pull some air bubbles or whatever, that will just go through and just start chewing.
That's pretty much what I thought happened. Like,
if you had an extra litre of oil in your sump, that wouldn't happen.
Literally said that the last little video I did. I had put 5 liters in and then went for a drive. The same night, spun a bearing. I have the extra liter of oil sitting on my shelf.
Would have been better in your engine.
So yeah.
So when I used to send people to do track days, you know, at the shop, you just say, all right, here's an extra litre of oil. Your engine will chew it because it doesn't want that extra litre of oil. But put it in. It'll throw it into the catch, into the rockers. You'll get mist in the engine. Fucking who cares?
Save the bearing.
It'll save your engine.
Okay, we're having a look at Cardo's block here. Now, I remember in a video he said as soon as he heard it tap tap tapping, he turned it off, but it looks like there was a little bit more on. Let's have a look. Number 1, main. We'd expect it to be stuffed because the oil pump failed. 2 is not pretty. 3 also not pretty. They all look like they've been hot. 4 is completely stuffed. Don't know how it didn't spin. 5th, 6th, 7th main. They don't look happy. Oil starvation. Bit of cavitation. But have a look at the big ends. Number 1 spun, number 2 spun, number 3 spun. Here are all the bearings down here. They are all cactus, flattened and spun. This thing was tapping, man. It was tapping for ages. This thing was tapping for minutes. This one was tapping so hard the bearing was getting out of bed. It was cooking. That hot spot there on that center main, relax. That means nothing. This crank's bent, man, for sure. There's no way it survived this. Oh, look at that, another spun bearing. So you've done a really good job, Cardo. I'm proud of you. This is exactly what we want you to do. Never again, please.
He sent me the little video after the fact because we just kind of ran out of time with him basically trying to do 2 features at once where, you know, Hawkins was there trying to get some time with him, and then I was there obviously as well trying to talk about my block. So yeah, he just kind of ran out of time, so he sent me that. So thank you for that, Herman. Really appreciate it. It gave me a really good laugh. So the other thing, while we're on the topic of machine shops and kind of testing things for why they failed, my oil pump gears. I had a buddy of mine, Alex, reach out to me as he works at kind of a different type of machine shop, I guess. And he's just basically like, you know, hey, your oil pump gears, are you doing anything with them? I'm like, not really. Like, I don't have any plans for them. Why? He goes, well, I'd like to crack test them and strength test them to see, you know, how much more life they had in them. So I'll kind of just put some pictures up while I'm talking here because I don't have video for that. But basically he's strength tested and crack tested those gears and then sent back all the microscopic photos and stuff like that. And you can actually see where the outer gear had started to crack already. So, I mean, if I didn't get oil surge, the oil pump was going to let go at any time. Like the gear was already cracked, so you know, the motor was ready to go. Yeah, so I thought it was really cool that he was able to do that, and then, you know, he sent back all those photos. So it's something that you don't really see or hear people talk about too much. It's usually, oh, my oil pump gear's broke, here's the aftermath, or I just bought a Nitto oil pump, or, you know, I bought a whatever oil pump and replaced it, and then they don't give a second thought to the gears. So yeah, you know, that's something that's pretty cool to see, is, you know, how much life did they have left in them. So yeah, thanks for that, Alex. I really appreciate that. That's very, very cool. On to the meat and potatoes of this video, which I know it seems intentional that I'm like dragging out this RB30 update for you. I guarantee you it's not. It's just literally been thing after thing after thing that's happened and kind of slowed it down. Not an excuse, not a story, but today I messaged the builder and was like, you know, hey, how's it going? What's going on? Can I come down, film the update and film the block and everything? And he goes, man, look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the entire street the shop is on has lost power, and we're about to shut down because we don't know when they're gonna turn it back on. And it was like, I think 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon already. So, you know, I was like, well, there's no chance. He's locked me in for Saturday, so I'm definitely gonna go Saturday, see the new build, see everything laid out, and then, you know, finally be able to show you guys who's building it and what the little hidden agenda is, I guess. But I can guarantee you I have not intentionally been dragging this out. It just kind of happened that way. So yeah, make sure you watch my Instagram because I will put a teaser up probably sometime during the day on Saturday, which will be Friday for all you Americans back home, fellow Americans. Something else that I've got, and while the car's on stands, I think I'm gonna just start picking away at little things here and there that I wanted to do, because obviously it's not going anywhere anytime soon anyway, is a friend of mine, Michael, has basically started making these like vinyl strips that replace the paint on the headlights. The paint like chips and fades and cracks away and all that stuff. And he's made a vinyl that basically covers all that. So he sent me through instructions, the vinyl, like everything I basically need to get that headlight wrap in place and put on. So I made a little video just kind of showing what the install process was and what I did. And then, yeah, well, I guess after that kind of wraps up, I'll show you, now that they're dry, what it looks like. I love it. It looks really good.
So mine is like super freaking gone because I've basically used a razor blade to just clean it up because I just didn't like how it looked with all the paint peeling. So my buddy of mine, Michael, is selling some of these strips right here. They're like just a clear vinyl, comes with sandpaper, like an 800 grit sandpaper and instructions. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stick these on, that way it looks a bit more factory since the car can't move anyway. But yeah, it's just a vinyl that goes over and it cleans up the look of the car. So I'll do this, sit back, relax, and we'll get back into the Man Cave Minutes. As you can see, comes up pretty good. Sorry about that, that was the door slamming. So you can see it's pretty good. Now I just gotta basically let it dry. I did have to trim just a little bit off the end, which is fine because you'd rather have too much material than not enough. So kind of give you a little bit of a difference here. This used to be black, but like I said, I scraped it back with a razor. I've hit it with the 800 grit sandpaper just to give that vinyl something to grab onto, and then the soapy water, and put the vinyl down. So basically all I got to do now is just let this dry, and that's it. Pretty easy install.
Yeah, so if you're interested, I'm actually selling them on his behalf as well. So you can basically reach out straight to me, either through the group or Instagram, or, you know, if you have me on Facebook or something, just shoot me a message. And guys, for the US, I can easily have those shipped to you guys as well. Basically, I think what he's charging is $60 plus $5 shipping for anywhere in Australia. If you're interested in them, let me know. We can get you hooked up. Alrighty, so hope you guys enjoyed that little Man Cave Minutes for week 2. And I hope to see you guys next week on Thursday. Again, if you're new to the channel, 1, click subscribe. 2, join the group. All the information's in the description below. And I'll definitely see you next week. See ya.